Happy Father's Day, everybody. It is Sunday, June 16th today. And so keep this kind of short, I guess. But I'm sure that I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one that's frustrated with weather. Seems like every day, or I shouldn't say not every day, maybe every other day, can't go without raining, at least a little bit. Wednesday, I cut all of the hay on the ridge up here, which, all of it. I think there's 15 acres up here, 17 acres, something like that. We don't have as much hay this year because we planted more corn and beans. But it was the only thing we had left. And I'm like, well, it hadn't rained. I don't even know. Can't even keep track of my days anymore. But Wednesday, I cut it. There wasn't any chance of rain. Wednesday, Thursday there was a slight chance. I'm like, well, if it does rain a little bit on Thursday, it's not that big a deal because it's fresh cut. Friday there was no chance of rain. Saturday there was a cloudy, slight chance of rain. And then Sunday, today, Father's Day, wasn't supposed to be any rain. So I'm like, worst case scenario, we'll bale it on Sunday. If it gets rained on Thursday and or Saturday a little bit, we'll bale it up on Sunday. Well, I cut it. Beautiful day on Wednesday. I cut it like 8:30 in the morning. I started cutting. The sun was shining, not a cloud in the sky. Wind was blowing. I'm like, this stuff was going to dry tremendously. I got done cutting. No sooner I get done cutting at noon, clouded over, and by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it was pouring down rain. We got almost an inch of rain. So I was like, well, that's great. That's real great. And then Thursday was cloudy. I don't know. I think it might have rained a little bit on Thursday too. Maybe not much. Friday was an absolutely gorgeous day, but it had rained too much. And my daughter graduated, so we had a graduation party for her on Saturday. So Friday, all week actually, I was busy getting stuff ready for the graduation party. So Friday, man, you know what? It's windy and these bugs, it don't really bother them. They're all over the place. So Friday was an absolutely gorgeous day. It dried out enough. Maybe later in the afternoon I could have got after it, but there was no way I could get to it. I just was too busy getting stuff ready for Saturday, and it wasn't in the cards. Saturday, it was cloudy most of the day. It did sprinkle slightly 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Nothing major. It didn't even amount to anything, just sprinkled. And then the sun came out yesterday afternoon after it sprinkled. So I was like, okay. Well, then all of a sudden, they put rain in the forecast for today, Sunday. And I'm like, man, I hope it doesn't rain. I get that stuff baled. And 2 o'clock this morning, thunderstorms come through. We got half an inch of rain. Of course, now it's 90 plus degrees outside. It's humid as all get out. It is breezy. That's good. But it's still pretty hot and humid. So, lounged around for a little bit this morning, and went and made some fence to change pastures. Change pastures for the cattle. Come up, check the hay at 11 o'clock, noonish, I suppose, in that area, and it was dry-ish. It was dry on top. The sun had been out, had been breezy. I'm like, well, maybe if I come up and rake some of it, I didn't want to rake it all because I didn't want to get stuck, because they've got that magic four-letter word in the forecast again for tomorrow and Tuesday. Pop-up showers here or there, but anyway, well, maybe if I come up, rake, at least, you know, like you see behind me here, I got like the center of the field raked up short rows. I rake up some of that stuff, so if it does, I can get that stuff baled up, and if it does rain, it's just raining on the stuff that's not raked. There's nothing worse than getting stuff raked up and then getting rained on. So I decided, I don't know, it must have been 2 o'clock, I suppose, 1:30, 2 o'clock. I'm like, I'll run up. The sun was out, wind was blowing. I'm like, I'll rake up a couple acres of it, 3-4 acres of it or whatever, and let it sit, because we were going to have a cookout for Father's Day. Oh my gosh. Ugh, the wind stopped blowing for half a second. Well, anyway, oh my word. I'll come up, rake up a handful of acres of it, let it sit till after the cookout, and then I'll come back up like this time right now and bale it, because it'll sit out for a handful of hours. It'd be good stuff. I get up here, start raking. No sooner do I start raking, clouds roll in from the west over here, and clouds up. I'm probably halfway through raking, and I'm like, well, what in the world? So I cut it short. I didn't rake as much as I wanted to originally. And then I was like, well, I can't let that stuff sit windrowed up at this point, because if it does rain on it, now I'm really screwed. So ran back home, got the baler out, brought it up here. Well, as soon as I got up here, then the sun come out. So I let it sit for half hour or whatever. I baled it up before I really should have, but I didn't really want to let it sit. And so then I baled it up and got everything baled up. I had a little bit of a mishap with the baler. Had to take that home, fix it. Only because I was doing something I probably shouldn't have been doing. I was just trying to make one extra little bale, and I was baling stuff that wasn't raked, and it got stuff wound up inside the baler, and it plugged it up, and I broke something. So anyway, I got that fixed. And I went home, had my cookout. Well, now it's 7 o'clock, and sun's out. The sun is out. You see it right there, and it's windy-ish. Be good drying weather, but it's too late. Start raking and baling hay now. So hopefully the weather holds off tonight. I only need a night. If I get home from work tomorrow night, and if I already got someone raking hay, should be able to wrap this up in the course of a couple hours, as long as I don't have any problems. But it's just, last year it was the total opposite of this year. Last year we missed all the little pop-up crap. We'd get, there's a 75% chance of rain, and it dissipates before it gets to us. It may rain up here on the ridge, it wouldn't rain in the bottom, or vice versa, over at the neighbors, whatever. It wouldn't, oh my gosh. I gotta drive a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, last year was obviously it was dry last year, and everything missed us. This year is the opposite. Anything that we can get, it hits us. So yeah, it's kind of annoying. I know I shouldn't say it needs to stop raining, but because then we're going to end up not having any rain, and it's not going to be good. So yeah, it's just, I say, that was last year. Here's a bale here. I did make them a little smaller. These are, they're probably 4.5 foot tall, I suppose. Maybe a little taller than I probably should have made them. I don't know if I'm going to put these in the shed, though. I'd like to make them all smaller to put them in the shed, because they don't fit. The stalls are I think they're 14 foot wide in there. I think they are. And if you make them 4.5 foot, it takes up too much room. You can't fit 3 wide in there. So we make them like 4 foot to put them in the shed so we can get 3 wide in there. So yeah, but yeah, this is a nice looking bale. Hey, this has got a lot of orchard grass in this field here. We started planting orchard grass as of last year when we started seeding stuff. We put orchard grass in with it, and it really took off. I mean, this stuff was, I don't know, this stuff must have been 4 foot tall in spots, most of it, this field here. And then there's one over there, and then there's one down there. The only thing I'm concerned about is there wasn't as much alfalfa in it, so hopefully it doesn't snuff out the alfalfa. Oh my gosh, the gnats are terrible. But yeah, this is the tracks from the baler and the tractor. It's not, that shouldn't be leaving tracks like that baling hay. So it wasn't perfect. I swallowed a bug now. It wasn't perfect at all. But I guess I got this stuff. It's in the bale. That should protect it anyway. I got 8 of them. I got 9. I got 7 of them in this bit here. One over across there. Then I got one over there. We got loggers here, and that's why I end up breaking the baler. Is the log skidder is sitting over there in that patch of woods over there, and I'm assuming that the logger's going to come tomorrow and they're going to drive their pickup up here. I'm like, well, really, they don't need to be driving on the hay necessarily. There's no place to drive unless they drive through the oats or the soybeans or the corn. I really don't want that. So I'm like, well, I'll just take the baler over, and I finished this bale right here, and then I had that short windrow over to there. I'm like, well, I'll just go out there where it hasn't been raked. I'll just bale it up or pick it up with the baler, make a bale, and come back and make a path so they can drive on without driving through the hay that's been cut. Well, I got over in there and I made a bale, and I finished that, ejected it, started turning it around to come back, and the stuff wasn't super dry at all because it hadn't been raked, and it got some of this green stuff kind of tangled up in it, and it was okay here because the bale had already started the little bit that I baled here. I was trying to start a new bale over, and the stuff was too wet and it plugged, and so I ended up taking the baler home. In the process, kind of wedged the hay up inside the pickup, ended up breaking the cylinder arm that holds the pickup for the hydraulic pickup on it. So I had to weld that back up after I got home and got it unplugged. So we'll go down and take a look at the oats here. The oats was just starting to head out on Wednesday when I cut the hay. There was only spots here and there where you could see the oats starting to head out, but man alive, this is some good looking stuff here. I mean, we're waist high in here, and got the alfalfa's coming. There's some grass down in there. This makes some killer feed. So yeah, this stuff's coming good. And they always say, and hopefully, I really need it to, but they always say once it starts to head out, it'll double its height. Now, I don't really want that. I'm not looking at oats as a crop of feed. I mean, I use it as feed, yes. I want it as a nurse crop for the alfalfa and all the brome grass and orchard grass and stuff like that. And then so hides the weeds, shadows the weeds so the weeds don't come up in it. A lot of times when it gets real tall, it falls over, which then it lodges, it kills out the new seeding. You can't cut it good, and it kind of is a mess. So I'm hoping I would say we're going to be less than a month. We're going to be in here probably cutting this. So that'll be good. And it's just this field. It goes the whole length of the ridge here. This is probably 5 acres, just a touch over 5 acres, I suppose. So, and then this field here, and this field will become one field. because I remember I was telling you how we were combining some of the strips up here. So, and then that field over there that's already cut, that one and that one will be one field. So, but anyway, I guess this started out to be a little longer video than really anticipated. You can't really see me, son. But anyway, so yeah, I guess just a frustrated farmer. Hopefully it doesn't rain much. If it does, if we only get a couple of sprinkles, it's fine. I just want to get it baled. I don't even care if it sits on the field for a couple of days or until the weekend or whatever. Yeah, it might kill out some of the spots in the field where the bales are at, but I remember in 2013, we had just made first crop, like literally the night or two before we had that big flood come through, and we got so preoccupied, well, we couldn't get some places because the roads were washed out, but all the hay was still up on the ridge up here yet from first crop. I shouldn't say all the hay, but there was hay up here. There was probably, I don't know, 20, 30 bales of hay up here, I suppose. And it sat up here for probably 2 weeks, a month. I mean, the second crop was probably already, I don't know, almost knee high, I suppose, or close to it before we finally get up and got to it. Of course, you're driving through the field, picking them up. Oh my gosh, picking them up in the standing stuff. And then, of course, around the bale where it sat there, it killed the seeding out. But it didn't kill it. I mean, it stunted it. When we go to cut the second crop, it was not nothing there, but it didn't affect it really. So, see, I don't care. I just want to get it baled. I don't care if it sits up here for a week or whatever. Once it's in the bale, it sheds water a lot better than when it sits out here in the doggone in a windrow. So, and then the net wrap helps out too. So, anyway, I guess just pray for no rain for a couple of days. That's all I ask. I don't want to say it stopped raining completely. This hot weather to the next couple of days is really going to make the corn shoot up like a cannon. And it looks pretty good. I even had some stuff in the bottom that was not good looking corn at all. And just the last 2 days it's been warm. That stuff has turned around completely. It looks 10 times better. So, I mean, this stuff that's over here is pretty good looking stuff. I mean, it's already probably knee high at this point. So, it just needed a little bit of warm weather. It's been cool. And I didn't mean cool, I mean it's been cold, but it's been only in the, upper 70s, low 80s for highs. So, need warm nights, warm days, some humidity. As comfortable as for us, the corn loves that stuff. So, but anyway, enough yapping. I'm going to talk to you guys later. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the page. Check us out. We're on Facebook. I do have a TikTok. So let us know, and we'll talk to you guys later.